review for you very fast. I was planning only to use 5 minutes to review what happens in the 101. This is the 102. What I did basically in the 101, we talked about starting a new course on campus, right? So a practice course. My practice course is called Z, because that's the end of the alphabet, and then it doesn't show up easily in campus when I'm looking for other stuff. So I asked everybody to create kind of a practice site, so you can use that to test out and whatever you're trying out. And I also always ask people to create a new IU guest account for yourself, so you can enter the website as a student and see how that works. Because even if you in OnCourse in the past you could enter by student view, but still it was not 100% what the students might have seen. So it's always good to create a page and invite other people and to test and to see what's happening. So I talked about that first, and then we talked about the different abbreviations. There's so many different names for online. It's all distance education, but some people, the coding we have at IUOA means online all. That means everything is online, as the line implies, and it also means, according to some people I talked about it, that it's not maybe limited to one semester. So you could say, I'm going to take this online ... course, and I have to finish before I graduate as a student, but it will take maybe 2 years. So it's really not about contacts that much between the instructor and the student. Then we have a lot of hybrid classes, and they're getting more popular too. So students meet maybe once a week, once a month, maybe once a semester here at campus. And the rest will be all online. And now we have a lot of distance other classes. I'm teaching Dutch online as a CSC course with the University, Michigan State University, already for a couple of years. And now it suddenly changed. It used to be OA because they don't have to be on campus. They can do the bulk of the work by themselves. But we meet once or twice a week for speaking activities online in a virtual classroom. But then you set time and day when you meet. So they say then it's not online all, it's distance others. There are also professors at IU who teach a distance class, but then is somebody coming?
Well, I didn't know when this was.
Sorry? Of course. So you also have distance classes where you have a class here on campus with students and the instructor, and there's a camera, and at other university there is also a classroom with a camera, and the students can work together with this side. However, please go ahead.
Sorry.
However, I never liked the system. I talked about it 40 years ago already when I came here, and I said the problem is you have different time slots at different universities, different vacations. You need kind of a technician at the other side who can help in case something goes wrong. So I said that's way too many factors you have to consider. It's way too difficult, and for students maybe also. So I opted for the distance others. So the bulk of the work is done by the students through campus nowadays, and then we meet once or twice a week for speaking activities only. So that's why I got involved with online education, because many language instructors in general, when you would say online, they look at you like it's a dirty word. It's not possible to teach online. It is, in my book. Students in general are highly motivated. So in my experience from the last 7 years, students might be even better speakers of the language than the students on campus. So we talked about the different abbreviations, the OA, all the different types. And sometimes when you have an on-campus class, if you're teaching Spanish, and you say, okay, and that week I'm not available, but we do it online, and still it's officially classified as a face-to-face class, because up to 25% you can do online. So if you're away for a conference or something else, then you say, or once a week we do things online, and still officially it's a face-to-face class, not hybrid, what many people think. Then you need to have more like that. And I said that for Canvas, Canvas is very, it's not ideal probably, but it's very good to use for online classes, because you really can set time limits, and that the student has to pass this part of the online assignment before they can move on. So it's very good, and you can do speaking assignments, written assignments. There's a lot about a speed grader that you can grade easily everything on campus, so they don't have to send to you any documents. Everything can take place on campus, so that's the good thing. So I said, but the only thing you need to keep in mind is for online, you really have to have planned everything every day almost, right? The whole semester. You have no, well, not really a lot of leeway, and because, well, sometimes something happens in the world and you can talk about it in class, but not in a virtual classroom, maybe. So you have to have planned almost every activity, every assignment, every quiz. You have to have planned ahead. What I normally tell people to do is, if you're teaching a Spanish class, for instance, right now or the next time, just work along, because many of the languages, like Dutch, we don't have many instructors, so you have to do it yourself. Spanish is a little bit different.
Yeah, we have a lot.
So then you can divide who's doing what, right? But I always say, do it along a regular class, so you are covering the same topics, the same parts of the textbook, and the same everything. Then it's really the same. So just in case a student is taking 100 online and wants to enroll in a 150 on campus, then that's an option, because they are at the same level, they have done the same thing. So that's how it worked for Dutch. So I said, create modules. Are you very familiar with Canvas?
Not really, but I think I'll be fine.
Okay. So then it's a good way to start. So I do focus a lot this last, the one and this one, on how to use Canvas, so that might help you too. So I said, do you know about modules?
I don't know where it is exactly.
Okay. So what happens on Canvas, you can create pages, and you use text in it, and we'll create one today. Or you will create one, and I'll show you what to do, and then you create one, and you don't have to fill in everything, but you know how it works, how you have to create, how you can create a page. Then you have also assignments, and you have quizzes, and you have all kinds of stuff. So, and if you put it in a module, it's like a chapter, right? So you put everything in modules. It depends how you can do it. I do it by chapter of the book. Last year, however, I did it by week, and still my third year class, I do it by week. So it's a module called week 1, week 2, week 3, and that makes it easier also for yourself. You can keep track of where you are. So I still do that with third year, but first year I chose now to do it per chapter. I'll show you what I do in my class, right? That's one of the things. So I said create a modular system, and I also said it's all about names, because it's the same as Word files. If you use Word, if you want to find a Word document you made last year, you have to have a system, right? Otherwise you cannot find where it is. It's the same, of course, in Canvas. So I said, always think about the names you use for assignments, for pages, for quizzes, for questions, for everything, because it's all about how can I easily find back what I did. And that's much harder than I think most of the time, because I'm familiar with Canvas. As soon as it started or came out here on campus, I started, and still, that's 1.5 years later, I still make some mistakes, or I think I should have done it like this or that. In my online classes, I think I have it covered. So it's always good to think about the names, and I said choose how you would do it. So what I would like to do with you, these are some examples what is on Canvas, right? The syllabus, that's, I would say, a given thing. You have to have a syllabus on Canvas. Well, then you have those pages, and on pages you can put text, you can put exercise, you can put video, so we'll see what you would like to do. You have, of course, announcements. I don't use them that often, funny enough. You have assignments, and there you see modules, chat, quizzes, discussions, and what else do we have? Let's see. Here they are, right? Some of them are a little bit more difficult to see. So you have people, conferences, pages, discussions, collaborations, outcomes. So what do you think you need in a class? What kind of elements do you think you need? One moment. What things do you think you need?
You need the syllabus and then models with it, and then the assignments and quizzes.
Mm-hmm.
I did use the announcements with Onkers, but maybe during line it's not that necessary.
I'll tell you why I won't use announcements. I use assignments a lot, because when you create pages, I have quite a few pages, but on a page a student cannot click and submit the file. So I have pages with text, but also a couple of exercises. So I send my students every week, I'll send them an assignment with what is due for the next week, and on an assignment there is a submit button, so then they can send you things back.
Yeah.
Announcements I only use at the very first day of class, so at the beginning, welcome, and please go here or there, or if there's something specific. So I cannot make it to class for the speaking activities, then I use announcements. The only thing you have to keep in mind that I use Canvas in all my classes, of course, and last year on a Monday, I always see my third year on campus, I sent them an announcement in the morning at 8 that I couldn't make it for class at 3 later that day. They got a message at 7. So they came to class and they were chatting. So since that time, I don't know if that's normal, if that's normally the case, but and sometimes you cannot know. I knew that morning, but not the day before. But that's maybe something you have to keep in mind. There is a delay when they see things, and of course, not all students are looking at announcements all the time. So one thing with students, they can, like you and me, they can say, I only want notifications once a day, right, of what's happening, what's new, a new announcement, a new assignment. I only want to see that once a day. If you have 5 classes, that makes sense maybe. But if they also can say, I don't want that, I don't want anything like that, and I'll always tell them, well then it's your problem if I have to say, sorry, we're not having class here but there, or we have no class at all. So, but they have that possibility that they can turn off anything, everything. Okay, so do you think you use chat?
I tried to use it once for like extra office hours if they needed it. I never used it, so I was there but no one was there. And I never used the discussions or forum posts either, but I know people who use them. So
actually, I don't use discussions either because I think the language level of a student has to be quite high. In my my book.
Yeah.
And what is the use of discussions if you force a very easy exercises? Now I think it's better suited for culture classes maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm mistaken. Depends on how you organize it. But I think the fewer things I have on campus for them to look at, the easier it gets. And it's always a question, why do you want to use this or that? So if you want to have a discussion, what do you think of the use of formal and informal pronouns in Dutch, for instance? Oh, I find it very difficult to come up with good questions. And then what do? Do you let them talk or discuss things? Do you grade it? How do you grade it? So there are so many factors. I don't use it a lot.
What I did use as well was an encore is the blogs.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that they don't want to speak in class always, so when everyone's like, well, we're going to share what we wrote, they don't want to do it. So I gave them the opportunity of writing it on the blog so I could check and see more or less how they were going.
And was that a lot of work?
It was, and especially like if I had a lot of coursework, I could not grade very often. Maybe I would do it like once per chapter in the book. I would like print it all and say like, okay, you need to work on this or that. It was more to check, but not really give back feedback or grades because I did not have time for that.
Exactly. So then it's about, do I really need it? You can say you have to post the blog once a month or once a week, and I'll check. And it's if it's part of your grade, but then you have to
participation grades. I checked that they did it and that they put effort on it, not just write anything, and it would count towards the participation. So instead of talking in class, they did the activity.
Yeah. Okay. So you can use that, and you can use discussions for that.
Feedback was harder to. It wasn't too much time.
Yeah. So for me, it's always what's the benefit for the students, what's the benefit for learning the language. And how much work is it for the instructor? Because many of those elements can be very good, but very challenging to really take it seriously. And if students take it seriously and you want to say, okay, you pass this, it's sometimes tough to defend to use that, but it can be done. But I don't use it, not because I think it's wrong, but I cannot use it right now. Maybe in the future I can, but probably then it will be only once or twice a semester and not every week. I know some classes do it every week, but that can be also other classes, right? Like talking about ethics, for instance, or talking about law issues. Then it makes sense. So, but you can all use that, and what we have in the end, it's from Dutch, Nederlands, Dutch 100. What I use mostly is a module for every chapter, so I'll show that later. So every chapter has, and sometimes it's 1 week, many times it's 2 weeks. But every week there will be at least 1 and many times 2 reading text. I focus a lot on listening because they don't hear it in class. And a student who is sick and is not in class cannot hear it either. But I think they have to be exposed to a lot of listening. So I do a lot of listening exercises, and most of them are, for instance, multiple choice graded, so they can see immediately if they did it correctly. It's not always part of the grade. Sometimes I just ask them to do it and we'll discuss it in the virtual classroom. I have every week, of course, homework assignments, but most of the time it's one bigger homework assignment in class per week. In class, you have homework every day, right? But I don't want to have 5 different submissions about homework of that week, so I'll ask them to read this page, do that listening text, and send me the answers in this assignment. Speaking activities every week, so I'll always give them instructions every week, what they have to prepare, what they have to do for homework, what they have to submit, and what they have to prepare for the speaking in Adobe Connect. I use Adobe Connect for speaking. So and I'll only send out one, and I do that under assignments and not under announcements, because in assignments, as I said before, you can submit a file. And I only do that once a week. And I checked with the last couple of years, that's quite stable. So at a certain point you can just say, for that week, first week we have to do this. That's a little bit theoretical, so we'll talk about it later. I have a lot of practice quizzes. I do the same, actually I do exactly the same for on-campus classes and off-campus classes. Only I do more activities in class, of course. But I do a lot of practice quizzes already for a long time, because I always tell students it's tedious work, but you have to learn vocab somehow. And I use also Quizlet. Do you know Quizlet?
No.
I'll show you. That's officially for the next workshop. And the next workshop will be not on a Wednesday morning, but a Tuesday afternoon. But I will be. And I'll show you what Quizlet is. I'll talk about that in more detail in the next workshop, because there will be about the use of media. How can you use things like Quizlet or VoiceChat or other things, especially good for online students. And I always have one graded quiz that it can be once in every 2 weeks about the whole chapter. And what I do, I use all those different practice quizzes. One is always about vocab, one is about grammar, one is about a mix maybe. The graded quiz is just a compilation of all those practice quizzes. So that works well, and that's also an incentive for students to take those practice quizzes, because they know they will show up in the graded quiz later. So what we'll do is I'll show you, this is my okay, so this is my Z100, that's my practice site, and I copied everything from my first year online class in this. You can, that's the same of course, right? So as you can see, I have a home page. This is at the moment my home page. That's the first thing they will see. Let me see. Oh, it's a little bit bigger than that. And I have the syllabus, I have modules, I have ACR tab for speaking on Mondays, I have assignments, grades, journal. So these are direct links to things they might need. This is the word list, if they have to find what is the plural of a word. So you can incorporate that in Canvas. So, and normally what I do after they started this, I make course modules the front page, because that's what they really need. Say hello. So the very first day they start with this class, they see a picture and welcome and go here and go there and do this and do that. And after that first week I make modules, so I have a modular system, as I said. So I have less means lesson 1 and 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, lesson 5, lesson 6. So then they don't have to click the modules all the time. It's as soon as they enter the website, they can see that. And what you can see, I have lots of pages. I have assignments, I have practice quizzes, I have all kinds of stuff. So what we might do for the first time is create a page. So do you have a class? Are you in any of the classes? Do you have a practice class?
No, because I'm not studying now. I have my old classes, like the ones I taught.
Okay.
And,
If you go to the home site of IU, is
Okay.
that?
this is my
There you can say start a new course.
and
Yeah, but I would do it very late in the alphabet, right? I do use that in the or you can okay. And then
okay, this is like private.
I would say.
Okay.
So that can be then your practice side. Now you see, there has not a lot been done. So, and you know how to change all this?
so it wasn't settings.
Exactly. So you,
And it's different.
navigation.
Okay. And then here I am.
Yeah. So
ID.
I wouldn't delete that.
No, I want to.
What I do is I drag and drop
Oh,
it under
okay.
there,
It
right?
works this way. I thought it was like with the light that you had
No,
to.
no, no,
And
no.
then
You
you-
have
okay.
just it there if you like, but you can move it back too, right? Because you need assignments, I assume. But for instant chats, you can just move or anything you don't want to use right now.
Let's come to.
Kaltura is about videos, so that's an interesting one too. But I would keep assignments and everything and pages. So if you, as soon as, or you just cancel on the bottom, right? Oh, save. So go
So
to,
assignments is light gray.
yeah, because it's blank because you don't have an assignment yet.
Oh.
As soon as you have made an assignment,
okay.
it will be dark, and that's the same for pages. There should be a page, right? So I'll show you first how so if you click on pages, in my case, I have it hidden, so the students cannot click on it, but it's part of the module, so they can see the pages. But I have still a couple of others. So if you don't have this, a front page probably, you have this without all that, and you can say add a page. Right? Plus page. Because you're the only one I can just. Yeah.
So I can like, make an interaction or
Yeah,
kind of-
whatever you would like to call it.
So and this shows on the bar here.
Mhm. But as you can see, when you look at my left buttons, pages is still gray, and I have a lot of pages, but I don't want the students to click directly on pages, so I leave it hidden. And in modules, I add a page to a module, so then they will see the page. You can do the same with people. Not everybody likes that everybody can see who's in their class. You can keep that hidden. So you have a page with a number, or a name, sorry.
And I just wrote something and.
Yeah, and you know how to add a picture.
So
Yes.
oh, okay.
And you have a couple of options there. You can click on Canvas. What you can see is course files, so whatever is specific for the schools. Or you can have your own files, where you know that's somewhere there, right? So but whatever image you want to load into a page or an assignment, you have to have it first in files. So, but that's how you could do it out.
So yeah, I don't have any.
Or you can use Flickr, right? So just find a nice picture.
I have to write something.
Yep. So whatever you think is useful. Well, then load up one of those pictures.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. Oh, that's exactly. Oh, this one.
Okay.
This one's good.
Okay. Amazing. So you can do it directly from Flickr, but if you have your own pictures or you want to keep them, want to use them all the time, then you have to put them in files. So it's up to you what you would like. So you can add a picture, and you can also add audio, especially for online students. They need to listen to audio. So if you have that in an MP3 file, for instance, you can load that too. Yep. And then you have two things. You can record something.
Oh, and I can record it just right here?
Yep.
Okay.
And students can do that too. So that's good if you want to have them to submit a file. You say just do that. Or you can say upload one of the files. You can.
Oh, and this one I can get from.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's neat, but especially that you can speak. Also that you can say, okay, please introduce yourself in Spanish or Dutch to your classmates, and then record and upload in file. So that's easy, so and everybody can access that, and that's a good thing. So, and that's much easier than it used to be, for instance, in Umpools. I don't know if you did a lot of recording.
I never tried because it was
it was very difficult. So in Canvas it works quite well. The only thing you might experience is that online students need to have everything updated. I mean the browser, the flash, whatever. So everything has to be updated. I have that in my. I'll show you. Probably it's a thing. You can find that on Canvas. Cancel. I think it is in syllabus. Probably takes some time. Not here. But there is, if you go to what a very neat feature is, I think, is the help button. And then if you search the Canvas guides and you say, for instance, what are you looking for? Browser, what shall we say? Which browsers does Canvas support? And then I always copy and paste that into somewhere on Canvas so they can. It's a very good help thing, I think. It's very neat for whenever you're looking, just click on help and search the Canvas guides and the answers are there, sometimes including the video. So it's a very good feature of Canvas. So I will go back. So you can add a picture, you can add an audio file, you can add a video, you can record something and post it there, so you can do anything almost on Canvas. You can also put exercises on Canvas, but when you publish this, can you publish this? Okay, that's nice. One thing, whatever you do on Pages, save it quite a bit, because I sometimes have something and I put something there and I think, oh no, I don't like that. And it's sometimes difficult to get rid of stuff. So save it and you think, okay, I'm going to try something. Save it first.
And then you can edit it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can edit as often as you like. Is it? Okay. So that's Pages. We can go fast, right? So that's Pages. You can also, I'll try to stick to my plan anyway. That's what I say, don't forget to save frequently, right? So create a page, you can use not a lot of different types of lettering, but you can link to a website too. For instance, YouTube, you can just put in the website. If you go to Pages, let's go to this page. If I edit, then you can see all this. This is to link to a URL. And as you can see, I have one to how to spell in Dutch or how to count in Dutch. So it's very easy. The students will see it like, I didn't change it, okay? They will see the first part. So you can link anything almost into Pages. The only thing, they cannot upload anything. So then, for that reason, we need to make an assignment. And an assignment can be anything. It can be a written assignment. Can be, so maybe you can click on assignments and you can later also see that it will be not gray anymore.
That's good.
Yep.
That's good. It can be an assignment.
Yeah, you can make groups for essays, you can make groups for cultural things.
Oh, okay.
And especially if in your syllabus, if you have, how do you call that, a weighted grading system, you can do that in assignments too. And you can say, okay, everything in essays will count towards 20% of the grade. So everything.
Wow.
So in Canvas, roughly, you have to look at left right. Those are the main things, but you can sometimes also see something on top. So an assignment, well, you can do the same, right? You can just put in some text there.
And you can make it like multiple choice, or this is, or that's more for quizzes.
Exactly. So
Okay.
just have them do something. Okay. And you can then say how many points they will get. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, so I can choose, I can make the groups here.
Mm-hmm. And here you can say online, right? And you can say I want to have an online option, and you have to click it there. Yeah, online. Okay. And then you can say which kind of options, right? I always do file upload, and that's the only thing I click. So then whatever they submit, you can also use Speed Grader. So you don't have to download whatever they submitted and correct it there. So I would say that, especially for online, because my students are in Michigan, so I'm not physically there to collect it. And then you can say save. You can even use dates. I always say the due date, not the opening date, because you can publish and then it's open. So, but you can submit a due date, and as soon as students can submit assignments late, but then it will show up in your screen that you can see this was submitted late. It's still an option. In some cases, I sometimes say if you are late, you have more than enough time, but still, if you are late, I'll subtract so many points, right? So I only do the date, but you don't have to. You can also say Eileen, but it can be problematic if you copy this class to next year's class, because then the old dates will be there unless you fix that when you copy everything. So if you now click publish, and now you can see you can add a rubric. And not before, so that was tricky for me at first. And what you can see in the rubrics, I'll show you one of mine.